Shack Together 22, presented by, Shacknews. Today we have Sam Chandler, guides editor at shacknews.com, a beloved guest and reigning champion of Sea of Deceives from episode 11. Who could forget it? Will he prevail? On today's segment, another game you'll have to listen to find out. After we cover what we've been playing lately, we head over to the aforementioned game and then traverse into story time. This week we cover the newly announced cover stars and cover athletes for NBA 2K25. Riot has some news. They've canceled a platform fighter. Wow. Nintendo teases a horror game, boasting an aesthetic that is unlike their usual stuff. We have Pal World news, Pokemon Sleep news, and news on Zenless Zone Zero and their 50 million launch weekend downloads. That's insane. We touch on Samsung's announcements of the Galaxy Ring, offer some thoughts on Summer Games Done Quick 2024 and their very impressive charity milestone. We've got a review of The First Descendant and, not ironically, follow that story up with some Destiny 2 thoughts and intrigue. It wouldn't be Shack Together without a story on Tesla, all before we indulge ourselves in a bit of an Xbox Game Pass rant. How dare they raise their prices once again? That is today's show. Thank you, as always, for being here, and here we go.
So I was on the internet, as I tend to be, right?
Yep.
And I saw a post from, it was actually like a news article. It was either like CNBC or like Reuters or like, it was like a financial news site that was writing about Wendy's chicken nuggets. Apparently they're now offering sauced nuggets. Have you heard of this?
Almost like a boneless wing?
No. It's exactly the same chicken nugget that you already get, Joe. It's just in a different container. That, and like the marketing is that they're drenched in the sauce that you ordered. So like if you want like sweet and sour sauced nuggets, they just put them on the nuggets. So I looked at like an actual picture of them. They're not fully sauced. They just put like, it's like one of those like containers that you get like a hamburger in, not a wrap, but like one of those like closable containers. Okay. They put the sauce on the bottom and then they just drop the nuggets on top of it. So it's only like one half of the nuggets are sauced. Also, did anyone have a problem dipping nuggets into sauce? Was that like an issue?
No.
Were we like, oh man, if only these nuggets came pre-sauced? Like,
I think we're running out of ideas for sauce delivery at this point.
No, but just, I want to keep going here though, because this is I think it's emblematic of a bigger problem in fast food right now. And I'm curious if you're seeing it in Jersey or not, Joe. There is a fried chicken bubble happening right now. And like in Canton specifically, there's a Dave's Hot Chicken that's opening next to a Jersey Mike's. We just had a Bojangles open. There's a Raising Cane's next to a Chick-fil-A. We got another Chick-fil-A. We now have 3 Chick-fil-A's in town and 0 Popeye's chicken. I don't know how that works. We do have a Church's Chicken. I mentioned Bojangles. There's a place called Slim Chickens down the street from Bojangles. There is Roosters, which is down the street from our office. It's like every other day, another chicken place is opening up. And meanwhile, what is Wendy's doing with this? Like, sauceables? Like,
grasping at chicken straws, yeah.
Because it's BS, man. Because if it was truly sauceable, it would be immersed in it. But also, does anyone want an immersed, like, you know that stuff's just
your
like
batter,
pure.
Your batter would go all like soggy.
That's right.
That's it, right? I don't want soggy nuggets. But also, like, isn't that too much? Like, do you ever fully submerge your nuggets in sauce? Or is it like a dip bite and like maybe a third of the nugget had sauce on it?
Yes, that one. Correct.
Right?
I think it's a dip bite situation. You don't want soggy nugs, mate. That's the last thing you want.
Especially in a drive-through environment, right, Sam? Like,
oh, yeah, no way.
All I'm saying is that Dave Thomas would never have allowed this bullshit.
There's so much... there's so much of this podcast is about Steve Jobs would have never done X.
Yes.
Now Dave Thomas would have never done X.
Yes.
What sort of dead CEOs will we concoct next and put words in their mouth?
You know what today is?
So far you've been right.
You know what today is? This is a perfect way to start the show. Today is the anniversary of the death of Satoru Iwata.
Oh, God.
So anyway, there's the triforce of CEOs I worship. Dave Thomas, Steve Jobs, and Satoru Iwata.
Wow. Well, I hope you get a Popeye soon.
Right?
It's the best
What are we doing?
That's the best one.
It is.
I gotta ask, and I am terribly sorry if this offends. You've listed off a bunch of chicken places,
Mhm.
right? How different are they all to each other?
That's my point, Sam. They're not. And I didn't even mention that we have a Buffalo Wild Wings and we have a Winking Lizard. Like, the chicken wing places are everywhere too. And then every bar has chicken wing places. I would say that Bojangles and Raising Cane's are very similar. Chick-fil-A has a variety of options. You know, they've been around the longest, I think, in that space. They claim to have invented the chicken sandwich, Sam, which is a bold claim.
Yeah.
But yeah, how different are they? I'd say Chick-fil-A is kind of different. Although Wendy's and Chick-fil-A kind of have similar offerings, in my opinion. And Wendy's is not just chicken, Sam. Wendy's is also hamburgers and stuff.
It sounds
Slim
like
Chickens-
a chicken renaissance around you, mate.
I don't think it is, man. I think this is like they're grasping for straws. Like, this is like the marijuana dispensary bubble in Colorado when they legalized it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everyone is going towards the same thing. We also have like a Culver's down the street, and you can get chicken tenders there too. So like, yeah, I don't know, Sam. How similar are they? Some of them are very similar in their menu offerings. Some are different. But my point is, none of them are bringing anything new to the table. It's just another chicken place in Canton, and I feel like we have too many already. So anyway.
Wow. Well, I'm going to say it one more time. I hope you got a Popeyes. 'Cause it's
Right?
so freaking good. I know. And it just bears repeating. It's almost restaurant quality there. It's not, but it's very good.
I mean, people were getting killed over the chicken sandwich a few years ago. It was like blows.
Outstanding.
It was people were coming to blows over a chicken sandwich, Sam.
I have a little bit of news. I have breaking news, or as the Doughboys would put it, breaking chews, which is appropriate for this topic.
Mm-hmm.
There's currently under construction, 3/4 of a mile down the street from me, a Popeyes,
God damn it.
Louisiana kitchen.
New Jersey gets all the cool stuff.
I guess so.
Like that sweet turnpike
That sweet, sweet turnpike.
and Newark.
Oh, we got it all here, baby.
Come to Jersey and drive on our wonderful highways with on-ramps that aren't terrifying at all. Like, super normal.
Have you ever been on a highway where if you miss an exit, the next one's not for 12 miles?
It is the most high-stakes driving I've ever done was in that state. I was like, oh man, one wrong turn, it's going to be a 30-minute correction here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Bumper to bumper, too. All right, let's start the show.
But like, sauceable nuggets, what the fuck are we?
Get out of here.
Seriously, Dave Thomas wouldn't have done that. Steve Jobs wouldn't have done that. Satoru Iwata wouldn't have done that. No one, I'm not going to do it. And I love nuggets. You're listening to Shack Together, a Shacknews video game podcast where our website's dark mode by default, and so are its podcasts, I think. I'm your host, Asif Khan, and today I'm not joined by my co-host, John Benyamine, who is out there in the metaverse on assignment, but I am joined by our producer, Joe Stasio,
Hello.
and Guides editor, Sam Chandler.
Hello.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome back to the Shacknews Extended Podcast Universe, or the CPU, as the kids call it. Right, they're still calling it that, right, Joe?
Checking the ticker. Yep.
Sweet. We have a ticker?
Yes, it's, yes, we do.
Nice. That's why we're one of the fancier podcasts out there, but also because we get right to the point when we start this show. Definitely don't start with a cold open where we talk about chicken for 10 minutes. Sam, the most important question on this podcast. What have you been playing?
Oh, mate, what haven't I been playing at this point? I think last time we spoke, I was ramping up to do a Destiny 2 raid.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, been dabbling a little bit of Talos Principle to finish that off before thinking back into Talos Principle 2.
Okay, so you're playing the first Talos Principle.
I am
Nice,
finishing
nice.
that off. And then Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, smashed that out. And obviously the finals, smashing out the finals as well. So it's a full ticket over here.
So,
Wow.
Have you completed the DLC for Elden Ring?
I have.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
And you were the
It's-
one, you reviewed the game for us, right?
No, I believe that was
That's
TJ.
TJ. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's TJ.
Yeah, but I'm on board with what he wrote, and I can't remember exactly what he wrote, word for word, but it was great vibes. Yeah.
Glowing review.
It is really like Elden Ring 1.5. It might as well have been its own standalone expansion.
Yeah, it does. It's an expansion, right? We mentioned it on the podcast before, but the thing I think is funny is so many people are coming back to that game and they're like, oh, I found this new place in the DLC. And it's not a new place from the DLC. They just didn't explore the entire original map.
Yeah, it's like open world for you, isn't it?
Because that's just how big this open world is, right? Like it's a very expansive one, and I think it's a break from some of the Souls mechanics, which felt more like you were in a contained world, right? So
the previous ones were always like quasi open world. You know, there was some like slight options you could do in terms of, do I want to go here first or there first? But more or less, it's all quite linear. Whereas this is actual, there's a field stretching out before you, and a cave over there, and then a tower over there. And maybe there's a fort and some minions walking up a road, and follow your nose.
Interesting. Do you think Elden Ring will come out on the next Nintendo Switch?
I don't know. I would like it to. I'd really like it to. But they've only released Dark Souls 1 on the Switch so far.
Yeah, that's right. I guess Demon Souls is a Sony exclusive, so that couldn't come over. But I thought Dark Souls 2 and 3 made it way over to Switch too, but I might be wrong.
I don't think
they did.
No.
So it's just Dark Souls remastered?
Yeah.
So that means that there's a lot that they could bring over.
Yeah, and that would be fantastic. The more people that get to play these games, the better.
Yeah, it's just, Nintendo had their annual meeting a few weeks ago, and the English transcription came out. So yeah, it's Nintendo owns like minority stakes in a bunch of Japanese game developers, and Bandai Namco is one of them. And they said they do it to maintain a healthy third-party relationship with their partners. So I wonder if that, because Bandai has actually worked on Nintendo games. Like they made, they've worked on the Smash Brothers series, and yeah. So I'm curious. It just seems like a relationship that could get better in the next generation. And it's also like Nintendo Switch would die if you tried to run Elden Ring on it. So yeah, something to look forward to, I guess. But I'm still stuck on the first boss in Demon Souls, Sam. Yep.
You got to get back in and do that, mate. Maybe a stream.
Well, I'll get into why.
I'll be a coach in the background.
I'll get into why that won't happen when I break down the games I've been playing. But first, Joe, what have you been playing?
Asif, have you perhaps browsed the outline I gave you?
Yes.
And peeked at what I wrote?
Yes.
Wow. What a day. I will start with the less exciting news. Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. I brought it up 2 episodes ago. That's complete. It took a trajectory that's common with mysterious settings in media, be it gaming or film or TV or sometimes books,
and
I guess.
Not an exciting one from the sound of what you're saying?
Well, I'm not sour on it. Just, it's almost like Lost is always my go-to example for like, once they divulged, the mystery, and like once the onion became unraveled, it was much less interesting. So, once we got to the titular Barrow, I wasn't quite as engrossed. But, that's maybe putting too fine a point on it. I did like it. 7 out of 10 for me.
7. Okay.
I guess that's always the problem with like mysteries and even horror movies, whereby once you know the mystery, once you solve it, or once you see the monster, the mystery and the monster no longer hold any power over you and your interest.
Yes.
So it's it can't live up to your imagination sometimes.
That's right. Especially when, your imagination has the benefit of not having to figure it out. Like, it's not like I'm more clever than the developer. I didn't have to answer the question and they did. Have either of you seen The Invisible Man with the Handmaid's Tale actress?
Yeah, that was great.
I actually did quite like that movie, so it's maybe a strange example to pull, but that to me that was like the epitome of this problem, where it's like I go into this thinking I'm watching a horror movie, and then by the end it's like almost like kind of like a throwback thriller. But maybe that's too much of a spoiler. I don't know. I'm gonna pivot away to the more important news.
So yeah, you're playing another game.
Oh wow, look at this. Check my notes. Dragon Age Inquisition, the White Whale.
This
Wow.
you brought this up on, I think, the Backlog podcast that we did. When
I
we were
did.
talking about our backlog.
I did, and I was, I think I was reading some Steam Deck forum or something, some Steam Deck news site. I don't know the name of it. I happened upon it based on some search,
Deck News.
something like that. And
Deck
I'm
Shack.
constant Deck Shack. It should have been
Probably Deck Shack.
You might want to purchase that. There is
I'm gonna go Daddy right now.
Yeah, there's a problem with the Steam version of Dragon Age Inquisition, and there's the problems with all sorts of major third-party published games on Steam. Like anything that needs a launcher tends to have problems.
On
But-
Steam or on the Steam Deck? Are you saying?
Well, on Steam, yeah, you're right that on a PC that's probably not going to cause problems, but definitely on the Steam Deck when it involves some sort of third-party launcher, in this case EA's, login that sort of preempts the launch of the actual game. The Steam Deck just doesn't play nice with that. And then, sort of the game is marked as unsupported to begin with, but, I wanted to press my luck. Long story short, I got it running and I found a user-made mod that patches in gamepad support, which is not present natively. Insane that it's not. But I needed went on GitHub, and there's this downloadable zipped up file that you throw into the folder on Linux. And when you boot up Dragon Age, you can finally use the freaking Steam Deck. You could only access Dragon Age using the mouse pad before that. Anyway, that was the barrier to entry, on top of the fear I had about diving into this 80-hour game that I wasn't crazy about to begin with. But I'm going to do it. It finally works. It's running on ultra settings. It looks beautiful. I'm a couple hours in.
Had you played the previous ones?
I have played the previous ones. The first game I've played 3 or 4 times. Dragon Age 2, I'm an apologist. I quite liked it.
So
yeah.
what's the trepidation about Inquisition?
Open worlds, I think, are a bad genre.
Okay.
I don't
It's not that. It's that Zelda ruined the genre for you.
Well, sure. But before Breath of the Wild, I didn't like them either. So
No, I get it. I feel like there's some good open world games out there that have taken inspiration from Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring. But Elden Ring is one that I would point to that's not bad.
Yes, you're right. I know I'm being hyperbolic. And I liked what I played of Elden Ring, 40 hours or something, before it became too difficult for my Wii self. Anyway, I'm going to keep everyone updated on my progress. I'm going to finish it this time. I've gotten maybe 20 hours in the past before
It won Game of the Year at Shacknews in 2014, so I don't know.
And lots of places, right? This was very popular.
Yeah, it was. I think maybe even God Emperor Jeff gave it Game of the Year. I'm not sure.
Is this in preparation for the new one that you're playing it?
You could say that, but I've been meaning to do this for a decade. So
Yeah, this has been going on for a while. He's been putting it off for years.
Yeah.
And it's finally time. But that's cool.
Asif, I have a question for you, but first I have a statement, and that statement is congratulations on becoming the owner, or at least the least owner, of DeckShack.com. Well done.
Yeah, I own DeckShack.com now. during your segment about talking about your games that you've been playing, I realized that I had a great business opportunity in front of me, so I jumped on GoDaddy and I did buy DeckShack.com.
Wow.
So now it joins my portfolio of hundreds of URLs that I don't even use.
Deck.shacknews.com would not do.
No.
We needed this one.
Now, subdomains in this economy, come on.
Asif, what have you been playing?
This is a weird week. I don't know. I was busy, but also something bad happened last week. We recorded on Wednesday, right? Because it was the 4th of July on Thursday, and I'm not going to make people work on the 4th of July.
Correct.
But Nintendo did this thing, like almost like an hour or so after we finished recording the episode, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
They announced a patch for F-Zero 99. So I'm going to get to that here in a second. But first, I played Smash Brothers Ultimate for the first time in years because one of our mutual friends, the guy who's on the Shack staff, or at least he's been at events and stuff with us, Michael Wang, visited on Monday with his kids.
Oh, nice.
And his kids saw my awesome TV and my Switch, and they're like, "Hey, can we play some Smash?" And I'm like, "Of course. What kind of host would I be if I didn't set up Smash for them?"
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing that really tugged at my heartstrings. They were both Kirby mains.
Nice.
And I just look at Michael and his wife Lacey, and I'm like, you raised these kids right. Because like you could be a front runner and be playing with Joker or like Steve or whatever, but like to grind that game with Kirby, because Kirby's like very low tier in Ultimate. It warmed my heart. And then
Nice.
Marcus beat us and was like, oh, I'm so good, I'll take you guys 2-on-1. So it was Catherine and I versus Marcus, and I switched to Rob and I beat the crap out of him. I'm very good with Rob. But it's just funny. I haven't played that game in a while. Its online play is atrocious, but it is still a very fun party game. It's just great. The local multiplayer is fun if you don't take it seriously and you're not, 3 stocks, final destination, like if you can have fun with it with items and stuff, it's still a very fun game.
Nice. That's great.
So yeah, got that out of the way. But yeah, literally and a few hours after we stopped recording the podcast, Nintendo pushed what I think is maybe the biggest update to F-Zero 99 since launch. It's version 1.4, and I'm just going to break it down for you guys before I talk about what I've been doing in it.
Wait. Before you do it, you didn't give me a clean area to pipe in the audience.
To no one's surprise, I've been playing F-Zero 99.
Huh?
I know. Crazy. Anyway, so they added an event. And I don't know if you remember, last event was like the winter one, and it just made a bunch of snow tracks, and there was like snow in the air. This was a celebration. You know how Nintendo doesn't really acknowledge holidays, but they kind of do? Like Animal Crossing has fireworks and seasonal things.
Yeah.
So they called this festival. It's a festival event. But they made a festival Grand Prix. So, I've mentioned in the past that I really don't like the Queen League. It's like my least favorite of the 3 main cups. They redid it. So every single Queen League track is now at night. So like the track looks different. It's night. You can see the city skylines, and they're all night with fireworks going off.
That's cool.
So not only are there cosmetic things like fireworks going off, no. They now generate a new pickup that's part of the seasonal event. So you can get I think it's up to 25,000 of them to get the a special spin logo. But yeah, this game, it's insane.
Keeps
bringing
on giving.
fireworks to it, and that's not all. So I'm having trouble because I'm gonna jump around. They added emotes. You can now spam emotes in the pre-race lineup thing, where you're all lined up before you go. So now all I have to do is hold down the R button and hit B, and I can spam a Samurai Goro emote. Nintendo, do you realize what you've done? I will spam that emote till the end of time. But I will say this. They knew this was coming because they put an option in the settings to turn off or to not display emotes. But it's hilarious now because you just see hundreds of emotes before the race starts. I love stuff like that. They also completely revamped team battle race mode. This was my least favorite mode because it was 48v48, and you had people who aren't trying, people who aren't paying attention to what team they are, so they run into you and stuff. You'll remember I did win a race of the old team battle a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now they shrunk it down to 50 players, and it's 5 teams of 10 vehicles. So instead of 2 teams, there's now 5. And I think that's more manageable. But then they even added another tweak. There's now a concept of a team skyway. So when you're collecting the yellow sparks, it goes towards a team meter, where if your collective team unlocks that meter, all of you can jump on the skyway together.
Nice.
And that's just a great change for the meta. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go out and just on a limb and say that team battle race went from probably my second least favorite mode to now it might be my favorite. It's really fun. The pace is better, and I think it's just funny because when I would enter the 48v48 lobby, it would take time to populate with people who wanted to play it. This is instant. Everyone's jumping in it. And then so that's just one thing they did. I want to talk about the fireworks a little bit more. So they drop these, like, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like spark currency that you're going to use to unlock things in the special mode. But like, just, this is that Nintendo difference. The final lap is the grand finale of the fireworks. So there's just like, it goes crazy.
Nice.
It's like at that most hype moment, right? Where you're in your final lap, the fireworks are just going nuts and there's more currency on the ground to pick up and stuff. So I love little details like that. They also, because you know how like the center screen, like that mode has like a different song based on what's being displayed. So like Pro Tracks have a song, or Classic has a song, or Grand Prix has a very unique song. They made a special festival Grand Prix song, and it's awesome. So yeah, they just continue to kick ass, and like they're supporting this game like so much. It's weird. But yeah, my review of this is it's basically the best thing ever. I love it. So here are some highlights from the week for me. I played a few Pro Track races. I got 3rd place on Deathwind 2. That's my best result in a Deathwind 2 race. I got 6th place on my 2nd try of the Festival Queen League Grand Prix. So that the way that went was I was 9th place on Mute City 2, 22nd place on Port Town 1, 10th place on Red Canyon 1, 9th on Whiteland 1, and 5th on Whiteland 2.
Dang.
So, like, to answer your question, Joe, from past episode, like, I finished 5th, but because of the cumulative score, my cumulative place was 6th. So it's not like that last race of the Grand Prix determines who wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
It factors into it. I did have my best time on Whiteland 1 over the last week of 2 minutes 6 and 0.65 seconds. I do want to mention, I lost a race by 200ths of a second, and it made me want to throw up. Yeah.
I don't.
So I had a 2nd place finish this week. I had a 3rd place finish. I'm placing top 10 in a lot of these. So yeah,
clearly
love it. Absolutely love it. This has definitely injected more players. I'm seeing a lot of people tweeting about it. I'm seeing familiar names kind of showing up as my rivals. So I do want to shout out some of my rivals of the week. Goombella, Dr. Jones, Furry fans. Mm-hmm. That's right. Furry fans.
Yep.
And DK. And I like to think DK is Donkey Kong.
I think it's actually him.
Probably. And then I got to thinking, you know, F-Zero for SNES came out before Mario Kart for SNES. And it was very much so a fact-finding mission for Nintendo. You know, oh, this is how Mode 7 will work in a racing game environment and so on. I kind of think F-Zero 99 is a testing ground for Mario Kart 9.
Wow.
Interesting.
Why would they be spending this much time on it? It just seems weird. I still don't believe this game actually exists. It feels like a fever dream every time I fire it up. And then especially this week, because it's like, now there's fireworks. Like, it's just weird that there's a live service game that Nintendo's supporting like this. But also, like, are they experimenting what a live service Mario Kart would look like? Because that would be a huge break from them. Like, if they go from, you know, $60 game to, like, here's this ongoing game.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah, I wonder... Nintendo doesn't do this stuff just by accident. There's like someone inside of Nintendo that's like, we're going to pursue F-Zero and we're probably going to pursue Mario Kart with some of the things we learned from F-Zero, would be my guess. Because, like, you know, multiplayer on F-Zero, on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Online is not terrible, but there's no like battle royale, right? There's not like 99 players or anything. So it'll be interesting to see what comes to the Mario Kart 9 game from this. But I have a feeling that's what's going on here. It's awesome, though. Like, they're killing it. They are crushing it with how to run a live service game right now.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
And surprised.
Every time, man. Yeah. I was like, of course I have to wait a whole week to talk to the podcast about this. But yeah, like, I'm loving it. I love it. I'm playing it every day. I've completely stopped playing Vampire Survivors because I'm enamored with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, because I think they learned from their snow event last year or earlier this year, where like I think most hardcore F-Zero people earned all of the in-game unlockables for the event like in a week. This is like, it's a whole month for the festival, and you have to get like 25,000 to get all the things, and I'm like at 6,500 right now. So yeah, you give me a carrot and you tell me how long I have to play it, I'm going to play exactly that amount. So yeah, their in-game gamification continues to do I think, extremely well. And yeah, it's just an amazing time to be an F-Zero fan. Just an amazing time. So it's great. I think they did tweak a couple other things, like the top speed that you hit while you're on the Skyway. It seems like some vehicles had a little bit of tweaks going on. But yeah, they're balancing the game better. And I think things like making team races 50 people instead of 98 is a smart move. And like you look at, like, now we have the classic mode is only a 20-person lobby. The battle mode is only 50. So it's like, I think they're giving themselves a better chance to populate these games.
So you said that you think that maybe that it's a testing ground for the next Mario Kart game. What if it's also a testing ground for like a new mainline entry in the series?
I mean, that I 100% agree that, yes. I think Nintendo is doing this to see what kind of appetite there is for F-Zero, right? But I think internally at Nintendo, there's a lot of love for F-Zero, and this is already, I think it's already done that, Sam. Like, I think the fact that this got greenlit means that they care enough about this IP to even test. And if you look at the history of the Switch and F-Zero X coming to N64 app like a year and a half ago or whatever, I think that was the first test to see if there's interest, because they pay attention to that stuff, like how many users are playing whatever NSO games. So I think this has been, yes, a fact-finding mission for F-Zero itself, and it might be a scenario where we get an F-Zero game before we get Mario Kart 9. Like, we might actually see that on the next generation. But yeah.
Sick.
At this point, though, I'm just taking what I got, Sam. Like, I have F-Zero 99 right now. I'm not asking for more. If we get more, I will be ecstatic. But, like, honestly, if they just remastered F-Zero GX or F-Zero X and they brought that to, like, a proper, like, if they did that Luigi's Mansion 2 treatment on some of their old F-Zero games, I think that would be great, too. But, yeah, like, they're putting them on... I think there's, like, Maximum Velocity is on Game Boy Advance app on the NSO. And then, yeah, F-Zero X, F-Zero for SNES. The only thing we're really missing on Switch right now is F-Zero GX, and we don't have a GameCube, emulator yet. But yeah, what a time. What a time to be an F-Zero fan. Holy crap. So yeah, I didn't play anything else.
For good reason.
That game's got its hooks just deep in me again. So, but yeah, shout out to all the devs. And just thank you, Nintendo, for supporting this game. I still don't understand how it exists, but I'll take it. That's it. That's all I've been playing.
You got me salivating for Final Fantasy Tactics 99. Let's make it happen.
Dude.
Need a revival.
That would be insane.
Be incredible.
I'm also looking, I know we had Ozzy on either last week or a few weeks ago, where we were talking about the Nintendo World Championships. I'm getting really excited for that.
Sure.
And where that could go as a franchise, because they could do it for SNES, they could do it for N64. It'd be cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
So that's it. That's the what we've been playing segment. We gotta segue over to the next thing. You got something for us, Joe? What's the?
Oh, I got something for you. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome to What Do People Even Play on Xbox? That's the name of the segment.
Oh,
Sam is a huge Xbox fan.
I'm an Xbox. Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm an owner. I root Xbox. I want my console to be worth a damn. But at the same time, I got to be honest with myself. What are we doing here? So, in light of the Xbox Game Pass price increase news, which we'll get to later, which we will talk about, it had me feeling more cynically than ever about the platform. As a result,
we get this game.
As a result, a question that quickly came to mind was, what are existing Xbox owners even playing on the platform? So I have here a list of the 15 most played Xbox games for the week ending July 7th. That's last week. We're gonna go round robin, which isn't really round. I was preparing for John, so we're gonna go alternating between the both of you.
Okay.
And you guys are going to name a game that you think is on this list. The most played game on this list will give you 15 points, And the 15th most played game on the list will give you 1 point. And the game will end when all the games are guessed or when everybody's stumped and gives up or gets frustrated.
Okay.
So, does it make sense?
Yeah.
It does.
So you're calling on us in this scenario. We're not chiming.
I'm not even going to call it. Yeah, we're just going to go back and forth.
Okay.
So you get a guess, and if you're right, you land on the board, and if you're wrong, it goes to the next contestant.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sam, you are the reigning champion of Sea of Deceives,
Thank you.
which means
Thank you.
you receive first play. And
Okay. Hell
I'll
yeah.
let you kick it off.
I think I'm going to have to pick an obvious one. I think it's obvious. Fortnite.
Fortnite is on the board. You get 14 points for that one.
Incredible. Okay.
Okay, so it's me now.
Go ahead.
Call of Duty Call of Duty Warzone.
Correct. You get 13 points
There you go.
for that one.
Okay. I'm gonna throw out Pal World.
Pal World, not on the list.
Oh wow. My mighty have fallen.
Halo Infinite.
Wow. What a terrible guess.
Really?
Yeah. I think I saw it deep on the list. Yeah. No one
It's
is
not
playing
in
Halo.
the top 15.
Halo is not being played.
Wow.
Yes, correct.
God damn. Sam, what have we done?
I don't know, mate. I
Do
don't
we
know.
need to bring back big team building?
We might need to. People need to
We're
get
going
back
to
into
increase
Halo
the player
Infinite.
base by 100%
It's a
if we
good game. It's a good game.
do. In some of
It is. It's great. It is now solid. Let's
Not
forget about
even
3
top-
for 3. But
Not
it's-
even top
yeah.
15, man. It's
I
a
know,
live
but
service
look,
game.
I know. It's crazy.
It's free to play.
It is free to play. I think, yeah. All right. Okay. All right, Joe. I'll give you my guess. I'm going to say Minecraft.
Minecraft in the top slot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you got quite a hill to climb, Asif.
Yeah. Okay, so Sam got the 15-pointer.
And the 14-pointer.
Oh,
So we have the top three are accounted for. 4 through 15 remain.
Madden NFL 25 or 4, whatever.
Not on the list, but sidebar, it was just right off the list.
That's insane. What the fuck are people playing on? Okay, Sam, go for it.
That's the name. Hold on. That's the name of the game.
I get it. I fucking get it. It's like when the person in the movie says the name of the movie. Yeah, that was what just happened.
Exactly.
I'm going to guess Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Excellent guess. You received 10 points for that.
God damn it. Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves is not on the list.
All right, what the fuck? What the fuck? That game's
What are people playing on Xbox?
Well, no, nothing apparently. Not first party live service games, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think it's all in the third party stuff, except for the major players. I'm really struggling to think of some other games that'll get me a decent score here. All I can think about is what I've been playing, and I don't know whether that's just my early morning brain not kicking into gear.
The only hint I will give is that the remainder of this list is so obvious. So
It's so obvious, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Obvious?
No. That makes me.
When it's revealed, whether I have to say it or someone guesses it, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why can't I literally think of any games? What's going on?
So sad.
I know. Oh, it's terrible. I'm gonna go with Grounded.
Grounded is not on the list.
Microsoft. Oh, Hellblade 2.
Super not on the list.
That just came out. What?
I'm gonna. Yeah.
What?
What do people even play on Xbox?
They don't, apparently. I
think
have a guess.
People are saying playing Multiversus.
It runs like dog shit on Xbox, Sam.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tidbit. I didn't know that. And no, it is not on the list. No one is playing Multiversus.
There are people playing it, man. Don't talk all of them.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 is on the list.
Wow. He did
2 points 2 points to
Oh
Asif.
man, it's barely on the list.
I just barely made the list. Oh man, that's terrible. How the mighty have fallen.
I'm gonna go with Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
Absolutely 100% not on the list.
Unbelievable. What is going on? Why is there no Halo on this list?
Because it's
That I know
a
of
dead
yet.
franchise. Okay, so Diablo 4.
I think that's a good guess, but no, not on the list. And it sounds like you guys need some help. I'll say keep thinking along the lines of Diablo 4.
Uh-huh.
All right,
That's all I'll say.
I'm gonna say Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 is on the list.
Hey!
Good answer.
6 points to Sam.
Yes!
There's no,
I'll
I have
take
no
it.
shot. There's no way. I'm not coming back. This is like games played last week, right?
Yes. This is activity based. So the amount of users that played these games.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I think that's a good guess. No, not on the list. That might be just outside the list.
It's a great game,
Sure.
I
but
don't
no
know
one
whether
on
it's
Xbox would
on
play. You
console.
play it on PC because
Yeah, that's
You
true.
play it on Xbox.
Very
Yeah.
true.
What's who?
Is the first Descendant on Xbox? Because that's my guess.
Fantastic guess. Yes. 11 points to Sam.
What the? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
The first Descendant has more people playing it than both the Halo games on the platform.
It came out last week, so I think
I
that's
don't
probably,
care if it came
yeah.
out today. That's still terrible, Sam. That's still terrible. Like, man, just call this Halo is dead instead of what do people even play. Okay, so we already said Fortnite. I don't even know if this is on the platform, but I'm gonna guess it. Okay, is Roblox on this list?
Oh, yeah.
Haha.
8 points.
Oh, that was a good one, mate.
Thank
That
you.
was a good one.
Thank you.
What slots have we got
mathematically,
left?
we have, and I just want to say mathematically, Asif, I think you still can pull
I
this
know,
up.
no, I know, but it's also we're on the struggle bus right now for finding games. I had to dig
Sure.
deep into my brain for that one.
The 4th slot remains, the 7th slot, the
Okay.
9th slot, and a handful beneath that.
And a handful beneath the 9th slot.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I'm trying to delineate between the games that we've said and the games that I know exist on the platform.
Mhm.
And try to think of literally any name for a game.
Yeah, at
It's, you
this
know how
point,
you see those videos and someone comes up on the street like a comedian or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're just like, name a person, and you're like, well, I don't know any people. I've never met a person in my life.
I gotta say, I gave the out that when everyone gets frustrated, we'll quit. But frankly, I'm enjoying this. I can't
Yeah.
believe some of these haven't come to mind yet. So.
I
know.
think
I mean, I will be astounded. I'm absolutely positive that when it comes time to reveal, I'm gonna have to guess a Gears of War game, and let's say, just go Gears of War 5.
I was about to cut you off and say, don't bother naming a number because it is so not on the list.
I think I got one. I think I got one here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Rocket League.
Rocket League is absolutely on the list.
Nice.
5 points to Asif.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I was like, that game. I have it on every platform, but yeah, I was like, people play that on Xbox. I don't. You do, right, Joe?
I do, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Do you play it on deck?
No, it's too difficult because I don't have it on Steam like you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got rid of it on Steam. That's right.
They did,
You can only play it through EGS now, and that's a whole. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Is Valorant on the list? Is that even on
I
console?
don't think it's out yet.
Oh,
or just
damn,
came
okay.
out.
Well,
Not
then I
on the
rescind
list.
Then. Oh, okay. All right. Asif, you go. That was my guess.
Okay. Xbox. I'm gonna just throw this out there. EA Sports Football Club. This year's entry.
Fantastic guess.
It's on the
4th
list?
overall. 4th
Oh.
overall.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
I love that
There-
Madden isn't on the list, but FIFA is somehow, or the artist formerly known as FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
There is a 16-point divide between you, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So very winnable for Asif.
Okay.
Sam, your turn.
Okay, my turn. I'm glad it's my turn because I've definitely thought of a game. And the game that I was hoping I would get an opportunity to say right now was another iconic title from Riot Games. Their League of Legends, what's it called? Rift?
Wild Rift, I believe it's called.
Wild Rift. Thank you.
Wild Rift, if I'm not mistaken, is mobile only. Is there something I don't know?
Well, I mean, if it's not on the list, it's fine. That doesn't matter, I guess. I don't know.
It is not on the list, but
I thought there was a console version, but maybe I'm wrong. Man.
I think that is mobile phone only. If I am wrong, then I am curious. I would check that out. But no, not on the list.
Okay, I have a guess.
Okay.
Vampire Survivors.
Not on the list. Solid guess.
I figured because it was like a Game Pass darling whenever it came out. But
yeah, that might be on the larger list, but I just grabbed 15.
That's fine.
Sam.
Yes. Yes, Joe. What's up?
Your guess? You have another guess?
I know.
Sam's delay tactics are fantastic.
I've forgotten every single game I've ever played in my life. I couldn't tell. Yeah.
And he's still in the lead.
I know. It's great. That was it. Those are all the games that I know. And I'm done.
I understand. I understand. I get it, man. I get it.
I'm going to say Doom Eternal.
Wow. Super not on the list.
Yeah.
I bet. What could they possibly be playing?
I have an
Are we
idea.
reckon multiplayer games?
No. Yeah. So I know I said Warzone already, but would Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 count as a separate game?
No.
It would not.
On this list, those are lumped together, I guess.
Okay. So I'm not guessing
like
that.
a launcher for Warzone.
Okay, so it can't be. It's not a COD game then. The fuck is on this system? I'm gonna say just because people feel bad, they're still playing Hi-Fi Rush.
Super no. I'm gonna give you guys.
Super no.
This is challenging to give hints because I don't want to favor anyone.
Yeah, sure.
But I guess it makes sense to favor Sam as he's the reigning champ.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a very light hint. It's a light hint. There's only one more Xbox Game Studios game on this list.
There's only one more Xbox Game Studios game on that list.
There are 2 total, and Sam already named Minecraft. There's one more.
Yes, there would have to be, obviously. And because I know so much about the Xbox Game Studio games that are on the Xbox, and there's so many of them that we get to pick from.
I
that
didn't
people are playing
introduce
on
a
this
timer.
Oh
This is filibustering.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh mate!
There's also other games. That doesn't need to be your guess. There's other.
Oh no! 100. You got one, do you, Asif?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And you're not gonna pick it, so just say anything.
Okay. You already said Sea of Thieves, didn't you?
I did, and it's not
Yeah,
on
you
the
did.
list, which is baffling.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. How is that not on the list? It's such a good game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Forza,
it's a good one.
Correct.
Damn it, Sam.
Motorsport, whatever it is.
It's just called Forza Motorsport this year, I think.
Well, doesn't matter. I'm giving it to him. It's Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir, for taking pity on me. I appreciate
My
it.
benevolence.
Okay, my turn.
I will offer Asif. I will offer another publishing hint.
I don't need it.
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
Okay, you're just gonna give it to me. Okay, fine. Go.
There are 2 Ubisoft titles that no one has guessed.
Oh.
Okay, that's throwing a wrench into my next guess. Screw that. I'm ignoring what you just told me.
Sure.
Final Fantasy 14.
I'm surprised that you're wrong. I would
What the
expect.
fuck?
I would
Wow.
expect
That
that
just
to be
came
on
out
here.
on Xbox. No
Yeah.
one owns an Xbox. That's what that means. Nobody has that. No
Yeah.
one has it because that game is everywhere right now.
Sure.
That's wild, man.
That's insane.
Sure.
I thought I had like a big coup on Sam here. Nope, not even on the list. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
out
that
of
was
luck,
a
man.
great. That's a great guess. That's
I'm
incredible.
like
that
sitting
no
here,
one's played.
I'm like, it's a live service game, and it just came out. You would think people, nope, no one uses that thing. It just sits there and collects dust while looking like a cheese grater.
Wow.
I'm going to guess the new Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed Noun. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Shadow?
Doesn't matter because it's not on the list.
Unbelievable, mate.
Here's the next hint. There's only one more non-live service game on this list.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Fall Guys.
Not on the list.
I don't fucking know. What other live service games are there? We said Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, right? We said Destiny 2.
What other live service games are there? What
I'm
a
going to take a
question.
guess, and this is laughable. But if it is on the list, that I don't even know anymore, mate. What's the name of that? Why is it disappeared from? What's that? Skull and Bones. That's it. It's Skull and Bones.
No fucking way. No way.
Wow.
No.
I just checked our
Take away
our
points for
patented-
guessing it.
I just checked our Shack Together ticker, and it says hell no.
No. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I
Absolutely
apologize.
not.
I
That game is
apologize.
entering season 3.
Let
Not
me
on the list.
let me write an apology on my notepad and
Thank
take a
you.
screenshot and put that online.
Yeah. Black background, white text. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
We're riding this out. Let's do it.
in my head, I'm like, okay, getting the guys together. We're all gonna play Xbox.
Yeah, what are you doing? So you've got
What are we
a couple of mates. You've logged on. You're like, hi guys, we're on Discord. I'm looking forward to booting up on my Xbox the game that's currently sitting at number 8 or whatever we got. Let's all get on this live service game
Okay,
and play together.
this is probably gonna be wrong, but it's just one of my favorite games, and I think it's on Game Pass. Tetris Effect Connected.
Wow. Absolutely not.
Oh well.
The gulf between the guesses and what's remaining on the list has to be millions of players.
Am I out of touch
players.
with the children? What's going on?
That's how it's feeling. And if it's any consolation, I'm confident I'd also be struggling if the roles were reversed.
Huh.
So
But these are games that
You know
have
what?
articles
Among
on
Us.
Shacknews.com. How's that?
Among Us.
Is not here. That's
Unbelievable.
I think 2 years ago that would have been on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, mate. Let's. I don't need that sass from you right now.
Like your head's in the right space. That's what
Okay, so
I'm an idiot. I've got.
I am gonna just start throwing out games that I know are on the system. That's where I'm at.
Fusion Frenzy.
No. Power Wash Simulator.
Totally the wrong ballpark. So not on the list.
Oh well. Oh, that game's great.
That my replies here aren't supposed to be demeaning. I'm trying to steer you in the right direction.
I get it.
Joe,
That game's
I
good.
need you
Yes.
to prepare to say it's on the
Yes.
list. Congratulations, Sam. You're a genius.
Great.
Elden Ring.
Yes. And
Oh, God.
I believe mathematically, I believe that's it.
How did I not?
How
Oh my
did
God.
mate? It's all
We
I've
waited
been
this
playing.
long to say Elden Ring? Oh, my
I know.
God.
It's all I've been playing for like 2 weeks now. How did
But
I
on
not
PC,
say it?
right?
Wow.
Yeah, but even still, oh my gosh.
So I think that's the nail in the coffin for Asif.
That's fine.
I think we're gonna wrap the game up because
Can you reveal the other ones?
Of course I can.
Sure.
Of course I can.
Will he?
Okay.
Will you?
No.
Can you?
Yes, yes I can.
Just for the folks at home.
Going in
Yeah.
order.
Mhm.
In the number 1 spot, Minecraft.
Yep.
Fortnite, Call of Duty, EA Sports Football Club, The First Descendant, Grand Theft Auto 5, Elden Ring,
Mhm.
Roblox,
Mhm.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Good for them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny 2,
Mhm.
Rocket League,
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 5.
Mm.
This was the toughest one and that you didn't get. X Defiant somehow on the list.
What?
Good for them.
Okay.
Yeah, surprising.
That's
And then there were-
so those are the two Ubisoft games. Right? Okay.
That's right. And then the two remaining, 14 and 15, are Overwatch 2 and the shame on you, Apex Legends.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't even say PUBG or Apex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done, Sam. And
Oh man,
Asif.
that was tough. I need to hit the books.
That is a sad ass list.
That's an exercise in Gen Z, if I've ever seen it. This made me feel old, this list.
it made me feel like Xbox is completely worthless as a brand and a platform.
I was looking at Steam charts like last night, and I had just forgotten literally every single game that I saw on that list.
I didn't do this work, but what I am keen to do, and perhaps next week, I wonder if the PlayStation list would, if one exists, would have more first party stuff. Like, what is the reason if this is the cash cow, software for Microsoft? Why would they be making anything? Like, we can't blame them for not churning out software because no one's playing it.
But
I mean, I doubt people are playing like Last of Us and God of War on the top 15 games on PlayStation.
Or
but I go back to what they themselves said about live service games, but also Game Pass. Hi-Fi Rush had 20 million players in its first month on Game Pass, right? So it's not that people aren't playing it. It's that they have kneecapped themselves from being able to sell $60 games. And we'll get into it in the news stories down pretty soon. But like, I think it's your point about Microsoft selling software is sound. They have forgotten that, and they think that the future is subscription revenue. But what we're seeing is when you take a $60 or $70 game and you throw it onto this subscription service, it hurts sales. Like, it just does. So then, yeah.
But
we'll get to what,
like, you make a good point with the 20 million people playing Hi-Fi Rush as well. So like that would have been high on the list back then, but I guess that's just the nature of, single player games. They play them for a period and then they fall off. And then these live service games that people go back to in the interim, your Fortnites, your Minecrafts, your GTA 5s, those remain because it's like, okay, I'm going to get back into my live service game that I dig into once I finish my thing. Like, I'm not going to pick up Elden Ring again.
Those games are monetized though, in game, right? So they're making their money from selling you backpacks and emotes and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure if Xbox released 5 games, in the in the blue moon that happens, right? That we would see those on the top of the leaderboard. But yeah, it's just, where are they? Where are these games? What are people playing?
We just read the list.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's all they're playing.
Yeah. What do people even play on Xbox?
But like, I think it's pretty damning that like the biggest first party release of the year for Microsoft is nowhere to be seen on that list. Like, I think Hellblade's their biggest release this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even
showing up.
But you're also you're not actually surprised though. Like, as in, like, yes, you're right that it should be, but like,
no, I'm not surprised. Yeah, but I think it's a sign of how terrible things are going over there, or how terribly things are going. Yeah.
But just I think my takeaway is 2 things. I'm completely out of touch with what's popular, and also that's no surprise. But just this entire massive pillar at that company, Xbox Game Studios. All of the acquisition that occurred now, 6 years ago?
Last year.
Well, and last year, sure. And the only thing on there that is Overwatch 2, which people largely seem to dislike.
Yeah, it's bad.
For all of that, there's no mind share.
If anything, there's less than there was a year ago, because now it's like, oh, you're going to just push Blizzard on us for everything. And it's like, or Activision Blizzard, whatever. But like, because they have to make back the $70 billion that they paid for it.
Sure.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe you fucked up. Maybe it wasn't worth $70 billion.
Definitely wasn't. We should get to the news, though.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a plan. Welcome to Story Time. Let's dive into the latest stories from the past week. We're going to start with our quickies, right? So I'm going to keep these quick. We don't have to go too ham on this, but I thought it was pretty cool. Jason Tatum and Asia Wilson are going to be cover athletes for the NBA 2K25 All-Star Edition. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Asia Wilson's one of the best WNBA players, plays for the Las Vegas Aces, who have won back-to-back championships, so they're going for a 3-peat this season. So that's cool. And yeah, Jason Tatum is a basketball player for the Celtics, and they won the NBA Finals. So everyone except for Celtics fans hate him, but good for him. I don't know, Joe. You hate the Celtics, right, Joe? Well, you're a Knicks fan.
I have always found it curious that I don't hate the Celtics.
That's very strange. Anyway, I'm a Cavs fan and I hate the Celtics.
Sure.
And then the Hall of Fame edition is going to have Vince Carter on it on the cover, and he's doing that between the leg dunk that he did during the dunk contest back when he was on the Raptors, I believe.
That's right.
But yeah, pretty cool. I like seeing the WNBA is really growing in popularity right now, and I think it's pretty cool.
Do we think that next year inevitably Caitlin Clark is the cover athlete?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of backlash around her right now, and even before the draft or whatever, like before she became a WNBA player. But like, I always feel like you have to be a winner to be on the cover, right? Like you have to either be about to win or you already won. And I don't know have you watched the Indiana Fever? They're terrible.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like 2003 Cavs when LeBron got to town. Like, there's some people who, to get the first pick in the draft, the way it works is you have to suck. You get more lottery ping pong balls the worse your team is.
Right.
So it stands to reason that the Indiana Fever were not just the worst team in the WNBA last year, they were the worst the year before, because they have back-to-back first picks. And they went with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. So do I think she'll be on the cover? I think it would be smart to put her on the cover. But if she's not the best player in the WNBA by the offseason, I don't think she deserves to be on it. I think Asia Wilson deserves to be on it, or whoever the MVP of the winning team. I think she should be on it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying she does. More so just that there, for better or for worse, there's just a huge groundswell of interest in the league because of her.
Undoubtedly true,
yeah.
But like, I think it's bigger. I think it's the young group of women who came into the WNBA this year are all electrifying interest in it, right? So you have Angel Reese in Chicago and Cameron Brink. I think she tore her ACL, but she's playing in LA right now. So you have these franchises that are kind of on the come up. But you're right. Like, I think they set a record at the arena in Las Vegas when she came to town just last week. So like, you went from, maybe selling 1,000 tickets to these games to now they're selling 15 to 20,000 tickets.
Yeah.
And just another thing before we drag this out too long, her presence in the league forced the league's hand to actually fly these women to games by charter jets as opposed to having them take like regular airlines to go to places, because there was like a frenzy around Caitlin Clark at a baggage claim. And it's like, you can't just have this like very famous person walking around in public without any security. So yeah, it's she has undoubtedly affected the interest around women's basketball, and I think women's sports in general to a larger extent. But yeah, like, she has to be good. And she is, but like, I don't know, if they don't make the playoffs, I wouldn't put her on the cover. I would wait until like the next year, right? But anyway, screw the Celtics.
Oh, the only team that I hate is the Nets, for the record.
Man, I could teach you how to hate teams. Like, that's all I do now. Anyway.
Oh, and the Knicks. Sorry.
You're self-hating. Okay, that's fine. You hate Dolan. You hate the owner of the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm joking.
No, you do. Everyone hates.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Dolans.
I like his band though.
You do?
No.
Okay, good. Moving on. Riot Games reportedly canceled an unannounced platform fighter in the style of Smash Bros. That's good. We didn't need that.
No. Too many of those.
Anyway, they are still working on 2XKO, that's certainly a name of a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be playable at Evo. So maybe we'll have TJ or Ozzy on in a couple of weeks to have them give us their impression.
They're like side on. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, it's just
fighting
2D. It's a 2D fighting game. It's not the main difference, Sam, is like platform fighters. It's just code for saying we copied Smash. So they were basically going to make Smash with with League of Legends characters.
Yeah.
It's probably smart not to do that. Especially, they got a chance to watch how Multiversus is going.
Mm-hmm. Not even in the top 15.
Would have been cool, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure. And I'm sure the people working on it are upset that it got canceled.
Yeah.
And they may have lost their jobs and stuff. So none of that's fun. You know what is fun? Nintendo just posting a random teaser to a horror game on Twitter. They teased this, we believe is a game called Emio. We have no idea what the hell we're looking at here, but exciting. Also, like, why wasn't this in the direct?
Also,
would
just
have been
strange coming from Nintendo. Just any graphic, the way this. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's like a just disturbing.
Yeah, very scary looking dude standing with a bag over his head and like a sad face or something drawn on it. Yeah, it's a creepy. It's like 15 seconds. Go check it out. It's on their YouTube. We posted it on all of our social channels as well as we do. But yeah, it I don't know. I'm into it. I noticed that at the end they had Nintendo shown. So there's some debate as to what's going on here. Is Nintendo developing a horror game? Are they publishing it? Is it an exclusive? Like, what is this? Right? So that's interesting. But yeah, like a horror game from Nintendo in year 8 of the Switch? Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Yes, please.
At this point, F-Zero 99 exists, so like anything else that they do is not going to be like outlandish to me. It's just like, oh yeah, Nintendo doing things.
Yep.
But keep going, Nintendo. We're loving this shit.
We love
more horror games, please and thank you.
Right? Especially from them, man. Like we haven't gotten a whole lot of that. Eternal Darkness is one that comes to mind, and that was like Fatal Frame. That's a great game. I would love another Fatal.
Even Fatal Frame just markets more soft. Like it is a horror game, but this is like I'm not saying I'm terrified by the image, but it is not the aesthetic I would associate with a Nintendo horror game. Like it looks mature, I guess.
It does not look like a typical Nintendo first party game at all.
It's kind of like the person, the company that makes the friendliest and kindest games and the happiest games can also maybe make the sickest and twisted stuff. Yeah, give it to me.
I think they can, and I think they do make good villains at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on because these are quickies. Sony Music, Aniplex, and Palworld's developer announced a joint venture kind of in the vein of the Pokemon company, right? I find it strange that Sony Music is making this investment and not Sony Computer Entertainment.
Yeah, why is that?
I guess the idea is the idea is that they want to expand Palworld beyond the game so that they can like create music from the game, or I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
toys.
I mean, it makes sense expanding beyond the game into new business ventures, but like, why the music section?
I don't get it. I think it's because Sony is very poorly integrated. Like Sony Pictures doesn't really work with Sony Computer Entertainment. Sony Music doesn't really work with Sony games. Like it's strange. The TV division's largely kind of kept secret from everyone else, and they have a life insurance division. I think it's just a problem with conglomerates, but I don't know. That's anytime Sony Music is doing something like this, I find it very confusing. But speaking of the Pokemon company, you guys want proof that they can just ship anything and make $100 million? Pokemon Sleep, a game that you don't actually play, it just tracks you while you sleep, has made $100 million in revenue in less than a year.
Cool.
Oh, man.
I think it's great because it's trying to teach sleep health to people. Like, that's a good thing. I think Pokemon does stuff like this, and people always scoff at it, but they end up being pretty successful. Remember the one where they're teaching kids how to brush their teeth?
I don't recall that.
Smile or something?
Pokemon
Switch?
Smile. Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Is this what Nintendo meant with the lifestyle software like 7 years ago?
I don't think so, but I think Pikmin Bloom and Pokemon Go were probably that, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Because, like those were like, they actually reward you for walking kind of stuff. But then there was also the vitality sensor that Iwata showed us that never came out. That would be weird if they actually shipped the vitality sensor and games would like react to what your blood pressure and heart rate were. That would be weird. That was just Nintendo being Nintendo, I think. Speaking of games that are just crushing it, Zenless Zone Zero from the Hoyoverse, the Honkai Star Rail developers, has hit 50 million downloads in a week.
Jeez.
Yes. And I guess it's not on Xbox, because that would have been on the list.
It's not.
Wow.
It's only on PC, PS5, and iOS and Android. but
There you
no Xbox because nobody plays games on Xbox except for
What
COD.
do people even play on there?
There's nothing to play. But if there was, people would play it elsewhere probably. Samsung had their Galaxy Unpacked event, and they showed off a Ring device. It's called the Galaxy Ring, and it's Samsung's first smart ring and has a focus on health and fitness features. So it's like a sensor. It has 3 sensors in it: heart rate sensor, a sleep tracking one, like something for sleep tracking, and then like a generic calorie burning physical activity one. They said that the ring can also track menstrual cycles based on women's skin temperature. So that's something. I mean, there have been products like this before. Aura Ring exists. There's a ton of patents at Apple for ring-based technology. I always thought that a ring would be a good human interface device for VR because it's not so intrusive, but it could provide hand tracking. So yeah. Be interesting to see where this goes or if it succeeds or not. This is just kind of their wearable division adding more stuff.
Yeah.
But these are
ring tech always seems very cool and sci-fi.
Yeah. It's for me, it's just what does it do? And nothing that they just said is different than the Apple Watch or the Galaxy Watch. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to wear a watch and a ring, but if the ring came out and it did everything that my watch did, then maybe I would use it. But the killer app for me on any watch, smartwatch, is being able to get notifications on your wrist without having to pull your phone out, right? Or like if your hands are busy, or if you just can't get your phone, being able to answer a phone call on your wrist is pretty useful. So if some of those features came to the ring, I could see it be a good thing. But yeah,
maybe from the other angle, it's like if you want to strip that stuff back and you don't want to be having notifications and you want to leave your phone away or something, but you want to keep your heart rate monitor going.
Yeah, if you're in it just for the Fitbit kind of replacement, yeah, I think it's good. But if you want a smart device that replaces a watch, I don't think this is it.
Oh yeah, no.
It's fine. But we'll see. I'm sure Apple will watch it and then release a watch or a ring in like 5 years and act like they invented it.
I just can't believe that they can like fit so much tech into something so small.
It's wild how miniature semiconductors have gotten, batteries have gotten. It's wild. The amount of custom lithium ion battery cells out there that work in these different, it is astonishing, Sam. We're in a really weird time for stuff like that. I do want to move on. Summer Games Done Quick 2024 ends with over $2.5 million raised for Doctors Without Borders. And the event company or the nonprofit org as a whole in 10 years or a little over 10 years has raised $50 million for charity. Wow.
That's so good. That's awesome.
Wow. From just playing video games and playing them fast as hell. If you didn't watch this over the last week, you missed out. There was a dog streaming Ken Griffey Jr.'s presents Major League Baseball. There was a dog playing it. The game went to the bottom of the 12th. The dog hit a walk-off home run with Ken Griffey Jr. to end the stream.
Awesome.
It was one of the most hype things I've seen on Twitch in a long time. Right, 5 innings before, the whole crowd sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which was hilarious. There was a Super Mario Maker 2 troll race with 2 of the best Mario runners in the world playing levels they'd never seen before. Really funny. There was an incentive during the Alan Wake 2 stream for the crowd to start getting up and doing the dance sequence in the game. So they did that. And then, yeah, they closed out actually by saying that ceasefire now, which is not that surprising given that Doctors Without Borders probably doesn't like when innocent people are being bombed by anybody because it makes their job a lot harder. And they do really good work in countries where healthcare is not as ubiquitous as the United States or other Western places. So shout out to the Games Done Quick team for another great stream. If you haven't, go check out their YouTube channel. There is a ton of VOD content from the week. So like there was like a Doom 64 stream that was really good. They ran Quake 2. I have a special place in my heart for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. They did THPS 1 through 4 all at once. The Elden Ring run was pretty great. Yeah, lots of great stuff. So congratulations to Games Done Quick, the people who are still there and the people who founded it on this huge $50 million fundraising milestone. That's amazing. In lesser news, The First Descendant came out, and apparently it's in the top 15 of Xbox games being played right now.
Oh, yeah.
We had Josh Broadwell reviewed it, and he said, we have Destiny at home. It feels very much like feels uninspired. It got a 5 out of 10 at Shacknews.
Why is it so popular, though?
I
Something
think
new,
people...
mate.
Huh?
Something new. It's new.
Yeah.
That's why it's popular.
I think it's new. I think it's one of those things where like the week that a game comes out, you'll see streamers playing it and stuff, and that will kind of create more interest. Repetitive challenges, simple combat gimmicks, overt influences from Destiny 2 with no attempt to create an identity, no endgame matchmaking. Sam, we were talking about this in our guides channel in Slack, where like they straight up stole logos and emblems basically from Destiny for this game.
Yeah, so a lot of the UI assets are, I don't want to,
not stolen, but heavily inspired.
I mean, yeah, look, if you held the two up together, you'd be like, oh, they're exactly the same. Spot the difference, sort of thing, The UI elements might as well be completely lifted and tweaked 2%.
Yeah.
It's shameful, really, that's happened. It looks like they've yoinked them. I don't know if that's exactly what's happened, but I anticipate someone coming out soon and saying, yeah, look, we're updating our UI elements because, yeah, it's kind of blatant.
So, yeah, it's out. People are playing it. Speaking of Destiny 2, Destiny 2 Echoes Act 2 will feature the largest health pool on a boss in the history of the game, Sam. What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty cool. Give it to me. Big bosses, big health bars. No time getting with the health. Let me just see how much damage I can get out and how quickly I can do it.
Nice. And yeah, we co-streamed this live stream on Tuesday, and Bill and Sam stuck around afterwards and basically did a podcast for Destiny 2. So it was funny because there were drops during the Destiny 2 stream and a bunch of people didn't get them. So Shacknews, I think we were like one of the only channels that was still live afterwards, and we had drops enabled. So I watched our concurrent viewers go from like 100 to like 900 in about 15 minutes. So we had Sam and Bill keep going and talking about Destiny. So if you haven't,
give people what they want.
If you haven't, go check it out. The ad hoc Bill and Sam Destiny 2 podcast. It's on our Shacknews VODs YouTube channel. But these are quickies, so we're moving on. The Echoes in Destiny 2 is basically like you're cleaning up after you defeated the Witness, right?
Correct.
Nice. Spoilers. You beat the Witness. Anyway. Last quickie, and I'll hit this very quick because this is Tesla and whatever. Tesla shares fall over 7% today. This is Thursday, July 11th, on rumor that the Robotaxi event has been delayed. Bloomberg is reporting that the Tesla Robotaxi event, which was set for August, is now slipping to October. They claim that it's because they have not been able to build a prototype that they want to show yet. So yeah, this is another Elon Musk time dilation where he says something will happen on a certain day and then it doesn't. He's done that a bunch. And yeah, the stock's down. It had been up for 11 straight days before this 7% down day. And then, yeah, just real quick, I want to mention Apple. On the first episode of Shack Together, I said that Apple was probably going to go to 231, and that's why I wasn't going to short it on the release of the Apple Vision Pro. So now it's kind of, what Apple Vision Pro came out in February? Stock was at 192 at the time, and it hit 233 yesterday. Sold off about 2.3% today. So now what? Do I have another target, or is this game over for Apple? I am not going to pick a side there, but what I'll say is that let's just say Apple's stock does break out higher here. I came up with a target for if that happens, and it's 323 a share. Now, how I got to that number is I'm applying a 50 price to earnings multiple to Apple. That's the price to earnings multiple that Apple peaked at in the year 2007, right before the financial crisis. So maybe that's where we're going to go. Right now, it's sitting at around a 36 times earnings multiple. That's still very expensive in my opinion. But what I'm seeing here is that AI, like basically every tech stock sold off today. But is the AI trade really over? Is the hype around AI over? I kind of don't think so. I think that these kinds of markets, they peak at absurdly high valuations, not just slightly overvalued. And I think Apple at a 50 times earnings multiple would be an absurd valuation for a company that is struggling to grow. So yeah, I just wanted to make that statement for anyone who has been listening since the first episode. We did hit my target. If it breaks out above that 233, I think it could go to 323. If it doesn't, I think this might have been the peak in Apple, but we'll see. I think that the hype around the AI release on their phone is going to be enough to push it higher again, and then maybe that's going to be the top. But at some point, these AI companies are going to have to explain how it's going to make them money. Because right now, I don't think I've seen anything from Apple that makes me think, oh, yeah, that's going to make money. It's just added services, added server expenses. So I'd like to hear how a company other than NVIDIA makes money off of this. But yeah. So yeah, Great. We have one last. Oh no, those were the quickies. We did it, right? We did the quickies. We did it.
Yep.
So this isn't a longie this week. Have you rebranded this a ranty?
Well, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it did feel apropos given the segment we did to rant a little bit.
Sam, you wrote this article. Xbox Game Pass is receiving yet another price increase, and now the standard edition doesn't even get you day one games anymore.
Yep.
So Game Pass Ultimate is going from $19.99. It's increased to $19.99 a month from $16.99 a month. The 12-month subscription goes to $74.99 from $59.99. PC Game Pass goes to $11.99 from $9.99, and Xbox Game Pass Standard will cost $15 a month. You asked, a lot of money. Will this get you to cancel? My answer is I canceled it already when they put COD on it. I was like, I am not participating in this because this will end up. This is gonna fail. This will fail. It's already failing. That's what I'm seeing. Is that this is a pathetic, sad move by a company that clearly doesn't know what they're doing. And I think it's also I don't think Microsoft executives want Xbox to exist anymore. I think Xbox executives do, Xbox employees do, maybe Xbox fans do, but I think that if they really wanted it to succeed, they would give their developers a chance to succeed. And I don't think they're doing that. They're rushing stuff out and then putting COD on Game Pass. Like they said they weren't going to do this. They weren't going to, it wouldn't increase costs, right? It would be a good thing for all gamers if they bought COD, right? It was going to be great.
Right.
And now look at us. Now they're increasing prices. But the whole thing is, we talked about Hi-Fi Rush earlier. It's like, oh wow, 20 million downloads. But how many minutes did those people play the game for? Because it's all about how much time people spend in your game. And then you get that fraction of that money per month. So if COD is now showing up and it's going to take up the majority of people who use Game Pass's time, the rev split with everyone else is going to be worse. That's what's stupid about it. Not to mention that it's the best-selling game every year. Why would you put it on a subscription service? You just bought this company for $70 billion. Why not just sell it for $70? I don't think they know what they're doing. And this is just another example of that.
These annual price increases are just getting out of hand.
And it's everywhere, Sam. It's like Netflix, it's Hulu, it's Disney Plus, it's Apple, whatever the fuck they call their shit. Apple One or Apple TV Plus or whatever. Like everywhere you look, streaming services and subscription services are going up in price.
It's all cyclical, isn't it? Like people who had cable and they're like, you know what? I might try it somewhere else. Going to cut cable. Then Netflix came out and everyone's like, this is cool. I can get behind this. And then everyone's like, oh, we've got our own subscription streaming service platform now, and now we're back again to going, you know what, I might actually cut my cable and, you know, cut off these streaming services. I don't really need 7 different platforms like I was paying back in the early 2000s with cable and network and all that.
I did the math, and I'm like, there's not enough Xbox games that are exclusive to their platform that justify these prices. I don't think so, especially if you're not getting them on day one at that low tier. I don't want to pay for, was it 19? What was the amount, Sam, for the Game Pass Ultimate?
So Ultimate, you're looking at $19.99
a month.
Yeah, or you can just get yes, is that the only one on console that gets you day one?
So that's 3.4 $70 games per year, or 4 $60 games per year. There are not 4 $60 games for Xbox that I need to buy.
Yeah, or that you would have gotten on day one. Like, it's just, the math doesn't add up.
They finally
literally
have screwed themselves. Like, they've been too greedy, and they talk out of both sides of their mouth, and I sound like a broken record about this, but if you bought back $4 billion of your fucking stock last quarter, why are you charging your customers more for this bullshit service? What the fuck? Explain to me how you can be firing everyone and the situation is so dire at Xbox, but you got $4 billion lying around just to buy back your own stock. How does that work? I just want to know. Someone at Microsoft explain this to me. And also, Phil Spencer or fucking Sarah Bond or whoever, Matt Booty, have you guys taken even $1 pay cut in this time? Because you suck. All 3 of you suck. And I would not pay you what you were being paid last year. Did you even think about taking a pay cut before you fired all those people? No. And Microsoft just conducted another round of layoffs at Xbox last week when people were on vacation for July 4th.
Woof.
That's why,
man.
Fuck this company. And they suck. They suck so bad. Like, this is just one example. But you can go back a few episodes when I was ranting about COD coming to Game Pass. This is what I was talking about. We need to compete. If we don't get COD, we can't compete. Nintendo and Sony are too big. They're the second largest company on the planet, and they act like they can't compete with Nintendo. It's ridiculous. It's getting absurdly ridiculous. And people need to stop being tribalist with this bullshit. It's not about, we have to support Game Pass or else they won't be able to make it. No, fuck them. $3 trillion company buying back $4 billion of stock every quarter. They are not in a dire situation. They just don't like this business. That's what's going on. And it's very apparent. When you're head of hardware, the guy who he invented the Kinect, he made the hardware. When he leaves, it says something about what's going on at Xbox. But yeah,
it's disappointing as well because
can they go
competition in this industry is great. More
can they go a week?
People making games is what we need.
Can they just go 1 week without tripping over their dick? Can they just go 1 week? Just 1 week. It'd be amazing. But no. And then just a tangential story about Microsoft. Microsoft is vacating their board seat on OpenAI's board of directors. So there's something going on there too. But yeah, this is exactly why I didn't want the deal to go through. This is why I didn't want the Activision Blizzard deal to go through, because Microsoft was going to do this. There's an argument. If we don't raise the prices, we can't offer you COD. Fine. I never wanted COD. Like, Game Pass was cool to me because it was like, it's how I discovered Vampire Survivors. It's how I played Hi-Fi Rush, right? Like, games that I was on the fence about. Sorry. But yeah, like, it just, I don't know. Microsoft, getting my blood boiling.
Hey, listen, I named it Ranties. I knew this would happen. And sometimes you got to rant. You got to vent it out.
Once again, Satya Nadella, I challenge you to a fist fight at any 7-Eleven or Waffle House location. I just don't think that guy likes games. I don't. I think there's people at Microsoft who want them to fail. And this is how you do it. So yeah, we did it.
We did it. Wow. Hey, Sam,
do you have anything else to say about Game Pass before we move on?
I don't like it.
I think like the $23 a year, not $23 a year here, sorry, it's $23 a month here in Australia, and it's just getting way too expensive, mate. That's, and for so few games that come out on it as well. I will say that the one thing I did like about Ultimate, like Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, was just like the I can't remember all the different names for it, but basically xCloud. You could play the
Sure.
games on your iPad or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but
I agree.
How
'cause
often were you
That was
doing
that was a nice like side
I wasn't,
feature.
but Laura, my wife was quite a lot.
Okay. Yeah, like if someone was using it, I totally get it. But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
for me, Game Pass Ultimate. Sorry, Game Pass Ultimate to me was just that's how I'm gonna play Xbox games on my PC. But now it's like
sure.
with the new math, there are not 4 games that I'm gonna buy on my Xbox this year. There might be like 2 or 1. I know I'm gonna get Hellblade at some point, but like, what else came out on Xbox this year?
Yeah. For me, it's almost like I don't often have the time to play all the new release games because there's so many live service games that I've got to stay up to scratch with. Like Destiny 2 takes up so much of my time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really get to take full advantage of Game Pass Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
But I just the lack of new games coming out is disappointing, along with the new price increases because more competition
How many
in
times
this space is
did
what
they
we
say
need.
day one on Game Pass in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
And now it's not.
Well, it still will be for those who have
Asterisks.
these. Yeah, for those who have the subscription. It's like, well, that's not good enough.
Yeah, day one Game Pass with an asterisk is not the same as day one Game Pass. I'm sorry. And especially because they spent the last year and a half pumping up how Game Pass was going to be their savior. And now they're like, well, screw you. You
What
guys
it means
don't
is
get
that
it.
people who had the subscription before this change need to hold on to it permanently now, or until Microsoft says, you know what, we've actually had enough, we're discontinuing that, and you have to go up to Ultimate. Because if they cancel, now their only other option is to go to Ultimate, and that's going to be what, from the standard,
That's like a hostage situation.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're being bullied into doing it, not that you're doing it because it's the right thing. Anyway, the fight, Satya, hit me up. Anyway, that's the show. We got some community notes. We have a few comments from the Shacknews community, which you can join by heading over to shacknews.com/chatty, or me emailing, I don't know, Sam. You can email Sam.
Okay. Do that.
Sam,
I'll read it.
Are you Sam.Chandler?
That's it. That's my name.
Yeah, email sam.chandler@shacknews.com if you have any comments about this episode. Or you could just post to YouTube comments like Haas Mamu does. So Haas Mamu replies to our episode. Was this last week? Yeah, this was last week.
Yeah. Yep.
Said, Izzy needs to watch the South Park timeshare episode. And then he replies by saying Ozzy got autocorrected to Izzy. I want to point out that the second comment where he spells Ozzy, O-Z-Z-Y, is also incorrect. Ozzy spells his name O-Z-Z-I-E. So anyway,
It's good.
he's blind. We'll give him a break. But anyway, thanks for listening. And please comment whenever you can. And then, yeah, if you made it this far into the show, you probably like us. Leave us a review over there at your podcast facility. It helps us become more visible in the podcast universe. Yeah, right?
That's right. That's
give
how
us
it works.
5 stars. Give us 5 stars. Give us a like on YouTube. I don't know, do a happy dance on Spotify, and I don't know if Google Play exists anymore, so whatever you do on Google. Yeah. Good work, Google. Just top-notch job. Anyway, just as an aside, you're doing great, Google. You're totally not killing your entire platform.
All the 4 horsemen of the tech apocalypse doing such a good job.
God, they really are, man. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and then you throw in the other ones, Facebook and NVIDIA. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Subscribe on your various podcast facilities and tune in every Friday for more Shack Together. These episodes tend to go live like late Thursday night, but then the article will go live Friday. So you will have multiple opportunities to engage with the content. That's it. We did it. Thank you, Sam, for joining us. I know you had to wake up early for this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you guys.
And then thank you, Joe. Great job producing today. And that was a great game that you had, even though I lost. And that's it. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Sam. Congratulations on your victory. 2 in a row.
I'm waving at the camera.
I'll go for the hat trick when I'm next on. Thank you very much.
How dare you? How dare you? Such arrogance. One of these days it's going to be like, name that F-Zero music tune, and I'm going to clean up. That's all I know. So that's it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm waving. I'm saying goodbye. I'll never
Goodbye.
Have a beautiful time.
is a Shacknews production.
Shack Together is a Shacknews production.
Shack Together is a Shacknews production.
Shacknews is a multimedia company consisting of a variety of entertainment properties, including Shacknews.com, video game and cutting-edge technology coverage with evergreen video, guide, and long-read content, providing readers and viewers with the latest reviews, previews, interviews, and news. Shacknews content is readable and viewable at shacknews.com, Facebook, YouTube at Shacknews, Shacknews Interviews, and Shacknews VODs, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Shacknews Media, Twitch, and more. But that's not all. You can play Bubbletron, our first video game. Combine 3 ideas, hit the market, and get your money hat. Bubbletron is a daily game in the style of Wordle, where players can launch a company and see its valuation instantly. Hit that high score and brag to your friends. Visit Bubbletron.com to play. There is no download required, no signups required. But if you are into app downloads, we have the cutest one on the planet. It's called Shack Pets, the ultimate battle for cuteness. Swipe your pets to victory on iOS and Android in this Tinder-like app for pets. Shacknews is proud to present a variety of micro products, all available for free at shacknews.com. Cortex is a publishing platform available to all of our users. Shouts is a Twitter replacement in a time where Twitter really needs replacing. And Reader, an RSS reader that won't get shut down by Google anytime soon. You can import YouTube, subreddits, all sorts of cool stuff, even podcast feeds. And lastly, all of our products are completely free to use and play, so if you're a fan of what we're doing and want to support the Shacknews ecosystem, head over to shacknews.com/Mercury. Mercury offers subscribers access to exclusive Shacknews swag like hoodies and VIP access to our long reads in downloadable format. It's a great way to support us. There's different tiers, and you get a lightning bolt next to your name.